Good morning to all of you. I am going to continue the same polity session that I have started from yesterday. Okay, almost a few lectures of current affairs I have uploaded. Okay, fine. Since the demanding of starting that and continuing the polity session that I have started from the initial point of time of our smart study, that's why we are continuing it. Okay, and I hope all of you are knowing that yesterday I have covered some parts of the Indian Union and its territory. Okay, I hope the difference between union and federation all of you have got it. Fine. And since yesterday I have covered few parts of that topic, I will cover one of the most important committee's recommendations from out of that topic, and tomorrow I will finish this topic, that is Indian Union and its territory. So tomorrow it will be finished. Okay, today it will be almost even approx 40-minute lecture, because it's a fact based related. So if I will finish the whole things in a single day, then it will be very difficult for all of you to memorize the whole things, because it's a fact based class today. Fine. So let's start today's session. Moving to the next slide. Let's see, as all of you are knowing that yesterday I have covered the same topic, that is union and its territory. Union means I am talking about Indian Union. Fine. Why is India called a union of states, not federal of states? Means federation, and the difference between federal and union, I hope all of you have got it. So it doesn't took any kinds of matter to redefine both the aspects again. So that's why we are continuing it. So moving to the next slide. Okay. Now let's see. Today I will see and all of you will get that I will teach you some of the important aspects, recommendations, committees, that how the states will be formed. Okay, before the independence, how states are formed, in which parts, after independence, how many states totally present after the State Reorganization Act 1956, all things you will get it. Okay, and tomorrow what you will get at how the new states are formed and developed. Okay, how they will separate from one territory and formed into a new territory. Fine. Like earlier, see, I am giving just an example. Earlier, Maharashtra and Gujarat was in a same presidency, that is Bombay. Okay, Maharashtra and Gujarat both are not separate state, both are in a one single unit, that is called Bombay. Fine. So in this way we will teach you after the class we have finished today. Okay, you will get it all the newly formed states in tomorrow lecture. And today, if you will get only the lecture of today, then only you can easily modify or get the whole the accommodations about newly formed states. So let's see. Okay, I am reading it word by word. Focus here. In 1950, the constitution contained a 4 classification of the states. Means when the constitution has been prepared in 1950 and the constitutional regulation started in our nation, then at that time actually all the states has been classified into 4 different types. Okay, states, classification of the states of the Indian Union, that is part A, part B, part C and part D states. So see, the Indian constitution originally contains 4 types of states inside India, from part A, part B, part C to part D. Okay, some of the states contained under part A, few are contained under part B and few are contained under C, and the least one contained under the D. Okay, it is not important for our examination purpose to remember those names who are actually present in part A, B, C and D. Okay, what are the actual demand of the examination, I will teach you those names. Okay, fine. So I hope it is clear, and if you are not knowing that, even many of you are not knowing that these are the present states which are actually not presented at the time of the preparation of the Constitution of India. Okay, just like I will give an example, like Gujarat and Maharashtra was not any number of a state. Okay, even names have been different too, both are in a single unit and both are jointly called as Bombay. Like earlier, before independence, Bombay Presidency. Fine. you will get all those sections, all those points clearly. So just remember it. During the preparation of the constitution and regulation of the constitution of India in 1950, all the states of Indian Union Territory has been divided under 4 classifications, that is part A, part B, part C and part D. I hope it's really easy for all of you to remember. Okay, so can I move to the next one? So I am moving to the next slide. Now let's see, it's little bit blurred, so I will tell to just back it again. Okay, yeah, is this the next slide? Okay, so let's see. In June 1948, it means before the regulation of the constitution itself, because at this time, see, on 15th of August 1947, India got independence. Recently we have celebrated, we have entered into the 75th independent day of our nation. Fine. So after independence, the constitution was actually not formally regulated, officially regulated. What happened that after independence of India, all the members of the Constituent Assembly participated in the debates, okay, and given their opinion that how a state should be formed, on what basis a state should be formed in Indian Union. So in 1948, in June month, it is not even you are not possible to memorize the whole things. Okay, so just remember that before independence, okay, approximately 2 years or 1.5 years ago before, means the your first Republic Day, the government of India appointed the Linguistic Provinces Commission. Just remember this name, Linguistic Provinces Commission. Okay, linguistic means language based. Okay, language based, like Hindi belt states inside our nation. Okay, Tamil, okay, Telugu, Kannada, Marathi, Gujarati, okay, Uriya. There are different types of language based in our content in our nation. Okay, so in June 1948, the government of India, then a question is arise that in June 1948 there was no prime minister, so how we can say the government of India? See, at that time actually the Constituent Assembly of India is called as the government of India. Fine, all the members of Constituent Assembly are termed as the part of the government of India. So in June 1948, the government of India appointed the Linguistic Provinces Commission. Remember this name, Linguistic Provinces Commission, under the chairmanship of S.K. Dhar, to examine means to verify, to look the feasibility means the possibility, okay, of linguistic based states. See, actually what happened that after independence there was a rising demand of formation of states on the basis of language. Like if just for example, okay, don't take it on mind, okay, I am just assuming it, or it's just hypothetical example. Like assume that after independence, since this is the fact that many of the states are demanding, or many of the people are demanding that they want separate states inside India on the basis of language. Okay, language. Fine. So like Telugu people demanding their own Telugu states, okay, like Andhra and so on. Fine, and many things like Gujarati people demanding their own separating from Bombay Presidency and making their own state, that is Gujarat. For Gujarati speaking people, that is Gujarat. For Marathi speaking people, that is Maharashtra. So in this way actually there are rising demand after independence. That's why this commission, that is Linguistic Provinces Commission, has been formed under the chairmanship of S.K. Dhar. That is why this committee is also called as S.K. Dhar Committee or Dhar Committee. Fine. This is really important for our examination too. In earlier examination of UPSC preliminary, this question has already been asked. Okay, so even it is possible that this question will be asked again in any examination, okay, in any year, by just twisting the question, okay, not in the same way, but you can analyze the whole things really with conceptual part, then even the question will be twisted in a different manner, even then you are able to answer the question in a correct way. So are you getting it or not? Since there was a rising demand of linguistic based state, formation of linguistic states based on the formation of a state based on language, main parts of that language, just it was a demand, okay, demand, rising demand. That's why this commission has been formed under the chairmanship of S.K. Dhar. I hope it is clear. So I am moving to the next slide. See, this commission, that is the S.K. Dhar commission, that has been established in June 1948. Okay, see, I am repeating those dates so that you can even memorize it. So in June 1948, the S.K. Dhar committee has been appointed, called as Linguistic Provinces Commission. Fine, Linguistic Provinces Commission under the chairmanship of S.K. Dhar has been constituted in June 1948, and this committee, that is S.K. Dhar committee, has submitted its report in December 1948. Okay, so within 7 months this committee has submitted its report. And what is the opinion, recommendations or suggestions given by this S.K. Dhar committee to the government of India? And that the government of India here means before 1950, whenever I will tell you about the government of India, okay, after independence and before 1950, 26th of January 1950 and after 15th of August 1947, whenever I will talk about government of India, then you will turn it about the Constituent Assembly of India. If you are confused in Constituent Assembly of India, then I will suggest you that go to YouTube and search Constituent Assembly or Constitution of India a series. Okay, there will be 7, 8 or 9 or almost somehow approximately 10 series available there. The whole things has been given, okay, in a very formulated way, like in a documented series. Okay, you will get the whole things in that way. Okay, you will understand that. So the commission submitted its report. So which commission? S.K. Dhar commission. Okay, if you want, then I will put those links. Okay, the whole links I will put in the descriptive box today itself. Okay, you can see whenever you will get a free time, you can see there. Okay, it's really somehow interesting for all of you who are actually participating in the examination of CSE. For those, even those who are not participating in it, everyone should look after that. Whenever it will be free time only. Okay, not by just harming your study. So the S.K. Dhar committee submitted a report within 7 months. Don't need to remember December, June, okay, May, August, don't remember this date. Just remember 1.5 years ago this committee has been constituted, and within 6-7 months this committee has submitted its report. Just, it's okay. But again, I will continue the whole things, but again, see, there is a trending questions of PPSC that they will give some committee's name, okay, committee's name. And how they actually do that? They will provide even 4 committees, okay, and the statements will be given as 4 committees. Now the question is that, okay, term all the committees according to their year wise, okay, formation of year wise. So only when you will able to know that which committee has been formed after which and followed by which committee, then only you can answer that question. Even you are knowing the whole facts, okay, and you are not knowing the facts that which committee has formed earlier and which committee has formed later, then you will not going to answer the question. These kinds of trending questions are from last 4 to 5 years, particularly in prelims, okay, not this kind of question in mains. So recommended that this committee actually recommended that reorganization of a state, okay, reorganization of a state. So why I am telling you, because see, before 1950 the names of the states have already been given, like before 1950 whatever the names of the Indian Union and its territory at separate part, like Madras, Mysore, Bombay Presidency, okay, these kinds of Bengal Presidency. So these have already been formed, termed under also under British India. So these are names. So if you want to change and form new states, then definitely it is reorganization of a state. So if you will write in mains answer that recommended that organization of states, then it will be definitely a wrong impression going to the examiner. So definitely keep it in mind in this particular keywords. Reorganization, we cannot write organization, okay, because earlier organization has been happened during British India itself, names has been given, that is why it is called as reorganization. So recommended and suggested suggestions given by S.K. Dhar committee in December 1948 that reorganization or reformation of states should be on the basis of administrative convenience, okay, rather than linguistic factor. It means S.K. Dhar committee denied that there is no need to reorganize the state or reform the state on the basis of language. Okay, S.K. Dhar committee said that a state should be reformed, okay, reformation of a state or reorganization of a state should be on the basis of administrative convenience. Like convenience means whichever way it is easy, means convenience means, look, if I am not capable to teach you the whole things in English language, if I am not capable, okay, even if I am capable and it is better for me to turn it in Hindi, then what it will say, that I am more convenient in Hindi language. Fine, that is convenience. So S.K. Dhar committee said that in whichever way the administrative convenience, okay, the administrative, that is to handle those parts, to handle those states, fine, like to regulate rules, laws easily, under those circumstances the reorganization of a state should be happened, not on the basis of language, okay, linguistic means language. So I hope what about the recommendations given by S.K. Dhar committee is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next slide. Now let's see, after this committee submitted its report, fine, and denied the linguistic based reformation of states, this report given by S.K. Dhar has arises anger, agitation, okay, the same thing, this created means the report given by submitted by S.K. Dhar has created much resentment, means much agitation, anger, and led to the appointment of another linguistic province committee, another same name of committee, same linguistic province committee, another, that is the first one, the first committee. Now after submission of its report there is anger, okay, that's why there is another commission has been formed, the same name linguistic province committee, by the Congress in December 1948. So see how quickly it was. In 1948 December month the committee submitted its report, and there was so anger, agitation, that in the same month, okay, the Congress actually formed another, which one, linguistic province committee itself, to examine the whole question afresh, means the whole question arising on the reformation of states has been now should be cleared up. Okay, that's why for the clearance of all those matters another committee has been set up in December 1948. So I hope it is clear. So I am moving to the next slide. Okay, it's not visible properly, so can now it's better click on middle part. Okay, click on middle part, go to previous slide, click on middle part. Okay, now just go. This commission, which commission, that is second commission, second linguistic province commission. Okay, read in this way, second linguistic province commission. Okay, this commission consisted of three, means important personalities. Okay, three important personalities, that is Jawaharlal Nehru, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and the third one is Pattabhi Sitaramaiah. Okay, have you heard about this name? That is P. Sitaramaiah. Okay, full name is Pattabhi Sitaramaiah. And this committee was popularly known as JVP committee. JVP means J for Jawaharlal Nehru, V means Vallabhbhai Patel, and P means Pattabhi Sitaramaiah. So JVP committee. Okay, JVP committee. Fine. So are you getting into the whole things? So can I move to the next slide? So I am moving to the next one. Okay, cooling little bit. Okay, fine. So here now see, it submitted its report. Which submitted its report? JVP committee. Okay, JVP means Jawaharlal Nehru, Vallabhbhai Patel and Patabi Sitaramaiah had submitted its report in April 1949. So with information of 4 to 5 months, this committee had submitted its report. Okay, and formally rejected language. Okay, language as the basis for reorganization of a state. The same thing. Okay, the same thing as given by which one? As given by the earlier committee. Okay, earlier language linguistic province commission, that is chairmanship of Peskedar. That committee has also denied the language based formation of a state, and for after agitation and anger in the same month another committee has been formed, that is another linguistic province committee also known as JVP committee. This committee also reached to a conclusion that the reformation of a state or reorganization of a state on the basis of language should not be take place. Okay, so both the committees have same conclusion. Okay, fine. Are you getting to the whole things? See the time frame. Since June 1948 to April 1949, almost it's 10 months, 11 months. Okay, so in these 10 months, 2 committees have been set up, but the conclusion is same. But by both the submission of both the reports of these committees, even agitation will not going to be less in India. Okay, in different parts, agitation has been continued, anger has been continued, resentment has been continued. Fine. So what actually happened after that? See, if you will know about the historical sections, then only you will get the importance of about the freedom struggle. Okay, that how much you have struggled. Okay, our founding fathers have struggled to get freedom to our nations and formally formed a union of states. Okay, it is not so easy that we are understanding it as today. That's why all people are saying that there should be belief and faith in the Constitution of India. Okay, because the personality as those times took their decisions by not in a single mean or by not just a while. All the decisions will be taken and concluded only after debates. Okay, that's why even till now you are seeing that there is only few agitations in few states to form new states. Okay, only in few states. Otherwise, if those decisions at that time has not been taken after fully debates and discussions, then even at this time the anger agitations will going on. Fine. So I hope it is clear. So I am moving to the next slide. Let's see. Again it's blur, but I will try my hard to. Even if you are audible to me, you can get it easily. See, however, it is the time frame in 1953. Okay, October 1953. It means after First Republic, means at that time first our Prime Minister was Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. So however, in October 1953, after 2 committees submitted its report, are you getting the whole chronology? So in 1953, October 1953, the government of India was forced to create the first linguistic state. Actually, there was so agitation, anger, resentment at that time that the government of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, led by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the party's Congress was forced. Okay, is totally forced to form a language-based country because there is so resentment in that location. Okay, that it is not possible to deny the formation of a state on the basis of language. It is not going to possible. The agitation was so at a peak that it is not possible to just stop that demand. That's why formation of a state has taken place on the basis of language. Okay, so this is a really historical one. So see, this is a historical one, this is important one too. So I am reading the whole things again from initial to the last point. See, however, in October 1953, the government of India was forced to create the first linguistic state as Andhra state, that is Andhra Pradesh. Are you getting it? Andhra Pradesh, and after Andhra has also been bifurcated, okay, almost 10 years earlier from now. So Andhra has also been bifurcated 10 years or somehow 8 years, and a new state has been formed, that is Telangana. So that's a separate matter, we will teach it tomorrow. Okay, so a new state has been formed on the basis of language, that is called Andhra state, by separating the Telugu speaking areas from the Madras state. See, earlier Telugu speaking people are living in and considered in Madras state. Madras means it's also, you can call it as Tamil Nadu. Okay, Madras was actually a province like Bombay Presidency, Bengal Presidency. In the same way, Madras was a province, okay, presidency type. So Telugu speaking people have so agitation, have so anger, that they are actually demanding that we want to form a new state. Okay, we want a separate state, particularly of Telugu speaking people, and the name of that state should be Andhra. And the agitation was reached at its peak, and due to this large sections of agitation of huge people of Telugu speaking from Madras state have going on at such a peak, that government of India was being forced to establish a separate Telugu speaking state, that is called Andhra state. So the first state formed in India on the basis of language is Andhra state, and Andhra has been created by separating from which state, that is Madras state. So remember these facts. Okay, and language was Telugu. Okay, Telugu. So I hope it is clear. Since it is clear to all of you, I hoping so. So I am moving to the next slide. Now let's see. This followed a prolonged popular agitation. Actually, what happened that this has taken place, linguistic based states have formed. Okay, and formation of this state has been gone like have been seen like there are different social reformers have means what means a hunger strike. Have you heard about that? Like earlier it was you can say the examples of Anna Hazare and so many. Okay, hunger strikes. So at that time there was a personality in Andhra, or you can call in Madras, because Andhra was not created at that time. The name of that personality is Poti Srira Mallu. Poti Srira Mallu. Okay, this is a famous personality when you will teach the history of southern area of India. The name is Poti Srira Mallu. Okay, so this is actually a Congress person himself, but actually he was demanding of formation of a state. So after 56 days of hunger strike, he was actually dead. Okay, he was dead. This Poti Srira Mallu has gone to over its life. Okay, after a 56-day hunger strike. So actually this has taken place, formation of a state, but only after this has happened. So this is important only if you will know the name Poti Srira Mallu. Fine, this is a really important personality. Even in the northern part of India, only people who are studying about these kinds of examinations, only those are knowing these names. Otherwise the names of southern personalities are not even commonly known in northern parts. Fine, are you getting it? So you should know about that, because all the states are within our nation. So I hope it is clear. So I am moving to the next slide. So let's see, and we will discuss the upcoming slides. Fine, till now I hope all the slides are clear. So let's see. This creation of Andhra Pradesh, that has happened in October 1953. A state forced the government of India to appoint 3-member state organization. Now let's see. Now the series has been coming. This creation of Andhra state forced the government of India, since before 1953 the government of India was not reluctant to form any state on the basis of language, but it was so means heating at that time that government of India was forced to form a state, that is called Andhra, on the basis of language. So if one state found, then other states people are also demanding the formation of a state on the basis of language. Definitely, okay, it is going to happen, and it happened at that time. So this creation of Andhra state forced the government of India to appoint 3-member state reorganization commission. After the formation of Andhra state, a 3-member reorganization commission has been formed like earlier committees, okay, like SK Dhar committee, JVP committee. In the same way, another committee has been formed of 3 members under the chairmanship of Fazal Ali in 1953 to re-examine the whole question, means to look after the whole things again, that how the whole state should be reorganized, okay, or reformed. So under the chairmanship of Fazal Ali, okay, and this is appoint 3 members a state reorganization commission. This is not a linguistic province commission. Other 2 commissions earlier, that is linguistic province commission, number 1 SK Dhar, and after that JVP committee. Fine. Jawaharlal Nehru, Patel, that is Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and P means Patabi Sitaramaiah. So don't confuse in the names, okay. So this committee has been, after the formation of a state, this committee has been formed to look after the whole things again. Fine. And this committee is called a state reorganization commission, chairmanship of Fazal Ali. So I hope it is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next slide, okay. Now let's see its 2 other members. One is, see, there is a 3 members body, chairman is Fazal Ali. So you should know the names of other 2 members. It may be asked, okay, it can be asked. No one is going to know about it. The other second personality is K.M. Panikad, okay, K.M. Panikad, and the third personality is H.N. Kunjru, H.N. Kunjru. So the chairmanship of the commission, okay, established for reorganization of a state commission, has been led by which one? Fazal, okay, Fazal Ali, and the 7, okay, the second personality is K.M. Panikad, and the third personality is H.N. Kunjru, okay. So Fazal Ali, chairman, K.M. Panikad, second personality, and H.N. Kunjru, third personality. So these are 3 members present in that commission. You should know that all the 3 names, okay. Anytime it may be asked, even it has been asked earlier too, it is possible. So I am moving to the next slide. Now let's see. Approx 1.5 years after formation of this commission, it submitted its report. Which committee submitted its report? Fazal committee, you can call it, like Fazal Ali committee, because that is the chairman of that committee. So it submitted its report in this September 1955, and broadly now this committee has accepted somehow broadly, it means moreover it has accepted the reorganization of a state on the basis of language. Not 100%, but a main part was on the language. As the basis of reorganization of a state means language, accepted, this committee has accepted, broadly accepted, not wholly or fully. Broadly means at a larger point of section, accepted language as the basis of reorganization of a state, but it rejected the theory of one language, one state. It is important one. This committee has accepted for the formation reorganization of a state on the basis of language, but not like that one language, one state, one language, one state. No. Okay. It means by combining the things, even 2-3 language people can live in one state. So in this way, it means primary thing is, it may be that it is language, but it is not like one language, one state, one language, one state. Fine. So I hope it is clear. This committee, the reports of this committee is totally different from the earlier 2 committees, that is SK Dhar and JVP committees, that have the similar recommendations, almost suggestions, but the committee that is led by Fazal Ali has totally different view on this point. Okay, so I hope it is clear. So I am moving to the next slide. See, it is little bit blurred, but I will teach you right now. See, by the State Reorganization Act 1956, see, after Fazal Ali submitted, Fazal Ali committee and K.M. Panikad and H.N. Kunjru, all the 3 names, have you remembered it? chairman Fazal Ali, second personality KM Panikar, third personality HN Kunjuru. Okay, have you got all the names or not? You should remember Fazal Ali, chairman KM Panikar, second personality, third personality HN Kunjuru. So these are 3 members of a 3-member committee. Fine. A state reorganization commission members, 3 members. See, after submission of its report, and since this committee has accepted the reformation reorganization of a state on the basis of language, but rejected one language, one state, rejected it. Okay. By accepting these reports, the government of India has, means in parliament, brought an act that is called a State Reorganization Act. This is really an important act. Okay, one of the most important act in the history of Indian Constitution, Indian Parliament. A State Reorganization Act 1956. So this act has been passed in the Parliament of India, and 7th Constitutional Amendment Act 1956. See, a State Reorganization Act has been passed in Parliament. Apart from passing that a State Reorganization Act, another amendment act has been made. This is not an amendment, this is just an act, a State Reorganization Act. But again, a 7th Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, 7th. Like yesterday I have teach you about 100th Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, 100th Constitutional Amendment Act. That is 7th Constitutional Amendment Act 1956. Amendment has been made in Constitution. Okay, because if you want to do any kind of alter things in the Constitution of India, then you have to amend the Constitution. So by doing all these things, in 1956 14 states has been formed. 14 states. Okay, newly means total 14 states and 6 union territories. Okay, so totally 20, you can say that 20 separate place has been formed all over the India. There are only 20 names of states. In those regions, 14 are termed as states and 6 are termed as union territories. Are you getting it? Right now 28 are states and 8 union territories. I have teach you in yesterday class. Okay, so in the same way, after the Reorganization Act 1956 and the 7th Constitutional Amendment Act 1956, at that time 14 states has been established all over the India and 6 union territories. Means half of present time 28 states, at that time 14 states. Okay, and at present time 8 union territories, and at that time 6 union territories. Okay, were created on 1st November 1956. So I hope it is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next slide. Now you will see. You must know about the names of those 14 states. Okay, even you will read these names 8 to 10 times, you will get easily remember it. Okay, you will easily remember it. Fine. Even if you are not remembering it, even if you read 8 to 10 times, I will title the names of states and 6 union territories. These are names of 14 states, and after that I will give the names of those 6 union territories. So even if you will see 8 to 10 times, okay, then in the examination hall, this question will be asked. See, that which of the following are not termed as a states, not I am saying not, as not termed as a states after the Reorganization Act, a State Reorganization Act of 1956. Okay, so if you will just even you will see, and a mind makeup will be done that actually these are the names. So in the examination hall, when you will see a different name apart from this, then you can easily separate it. Okay, so I am reading the whole names. See, Andhra Pradesh has been formed, the first state in October 1953. Are you getting the whole things? After that, Assam has also been formed. Total 14 states has been formed. See the first state, Andhra Pradesh. Second, Assam. Third, Bihar. Okay, fourth, Bombay. Okay, only Bombay, not Maharashtra. Bombay, and in Bombay both Maharashtra and Gujarat were in Bombay. Earlier it was called the whole as a Bombay. So Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Bombay, 4 names. Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Bombay. Fine. Jammu and Kashmir, JK. Kerala, okay, Kerala. MP, Madras, Madhya Pradesh, and after that Madras, and from Madras, this Andhra Pradesh has been separated for Telugu speaking people in October 1953. Fine. So how many? Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Bombay. Are you getting it? Jammu and Kashmir, Kerala. Fine. Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Madras. Are you getting the whole things? Till now, I think, have you remembered? Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Bombay. Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Bombay. Fine. Jammu, Kashmir, Kerala. Madhya Pradesh, Madras. These names are clear. After that, Mysore, the almost the region of Karnataka. Okay, and some other regions. By concluding, there was a region called Mysore, Orissa, Punjab, Rajasthan, UP, and West Bengal. Fine. So I hope the upper names are really easy, convenient to remember for all you. Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Bombay. Fine. Jammu, Kashmir, Kerala. These are 6. After that, which one? After that, it is Madhya Pradesh and Madras. Fine. These are the 8 ones. After 8 ones, only 6 left. Okay. On this 6, you can separate UP and West Bengal. So it is 10. Okay. After 10, you can find it Orissa and Mysore. It is 12. Fine. It is 12 or not? It is 12. So only 2 left. That is Punjab and Rajasthan. So in this way, whichever way you will find easy, with your own way, you can remember it. Okay. Like I am reading the whole things again. See, 1 Andhra Pradesh, 2nd Assam, 3rd Bihar, 4th Bombay, 5th Jammu Kashmir. Fine. 6th Kerala. Are you getting it? These 6 states. 7th Madhya Pradesh, 8. Which one? Madras. Fine. 8 are Madras. Then you can conclude that West Bengal, UP 10. Fine. Orissa, Mysore 12. Rajasthan and Punjab 14. So even you can remember it. If I can remember it, I have not remembered it earlier. Okay. But when I will see it again, it mind makeup becomes easy. Okay. At least I have make in mind that these are states. Okay. Apart from these states, if any name will be given, I can find it and separate it. Yes. This name has not been actually, I hope this name is not included in that one till now I have remembered. Okay. So in this way you can answer the correct question. So now I am moving to the next slide that will tell you the names of union territories. See, there are, I have told you 6 union territories after the state reorganization of 1956. So the first one is Andaman and Nicobar Islands, that is present till now. Andaman and Nicobar is a separate union territory till now, at that time also. Second is Delhi, at that time 2 and right now 2. So both are easy one. Is it or not? Andaman and Nicobar and Delhi, both are easy one. Himachal Pradesh, this is a separate thing, because right now Himachal Pradesh is a separate state, it's not a union territory. But earlier it was an union territory. Himachal Pradesh was not a state. Himachal Pradesh was a union territory. Okay. So 3 names, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Delhi, and third is HP, Himachal Pradesh. Fine, Himachal Pradesh. The fourth one is Lakshadweep. That is the same one, Lakshadweep. So see, what actually happened that today's Lakshadweeps have actually combining different number of islands. Okay, so these are actually the name of islands, Lakshadweep, Minikoy and Amindi Devi Island. Okay, Amindivi Island. So you can call it as Lakshadweep. Okay, Lakshadweep. Fine, Lakshadweep, or call Lakshadweep, Minikoy or Amindivi Islands. Amindivi Islands. Lakshadweep, Minikoy or Amindivi Islands. Today it is Lakshadweep. So 4 is clear. Andaman Nicobar, Delhi, and the third one is which one? Third one is HP, Himachal Pradesh, that is now a state. Fourth one is Lakshadweep, that is earlier called as Lakshadweep, Minikoy and Amindivi Islands. The fifth one is Manipur and sixth one is Tripura. Both are now a state, not union territory. So a question came in a different way, that how many union territories at the time of reorganization at 1956 have now been termed as a state at present time? So it is 3, Himachal Pradesh, Manipur and Tripura. So even a question can be twisted in different way. Okay, because syllabus is same, Syllabus is almost same. So UPSC will ask the same syllabus, okay, the same phrases in a different way. Just twist the question and ask the same thing again. Okay, because UPSC will never ask any question out of the syllabus. This is the perfect thing. So how many 6? Andaman Nicobar, second Delhi, third Himachal Pradesh, that is now a state, fourth Lakshadweep, that is earlier called as Lakshadweep, Minicoy and Amindivi Islands. Fifth one Manipur, that is also now a state. Sixth one, which one? Sixth one is Tripura. So I am repeating at last the names of those 14 states and 6 union territories in 1 minute. Okay, and I will finish the lecture. See, 14 states. First one Andhra Pradesh, second one Assam, third one Bihar, fourth one Bombay. Okay, have you get it or not? Fourth one Bombay, fifth one Jammu Kashmir, sixth one Kerala. So 6 are completed. 7th one Madhya Pradesh, 8th one Madras. 8 completed. Have you got it? 9th you can call it West Bengal. 10th Uttar Pradesh. 10th is completed. Fine. Odisha, Mysore 12 and Punjab, Rajasthan 14. I am remembering in this way. You can remember in other way too, whichever way is convenient for all of you. So and 6 union territories, that is, see, Andaman and Nicobar, that is also right now a union territory. Second Delhi, that is also right now a union territory. Third one is Himachal Pradesh, that is now a separate state, not a union territory. Fourth one is Lakshadweep, Minicoy and Amindivi Islands. That all the 3 are present in Lakshadweep right now, so that is also a right now a union territory. Number 4th. Okay, but just the separate is name is different. Fifth one is Manipur. Earlier Manipur is union territory like Himachal Pradesh, but the same way as Himachal Pradesh is now a state, Manipur also is a state. Tripura is earlier also union territory like Himachal Pradesh and Manipur, but right now as Himachal Pradesh and Manipur as a state, Tripura is also a state. So these are 6 union territories. Okay, you should remember these facts, because anytime this question may be asked, given, earlier also asked. So I hope it is clear. So can I move to the next one if any other remaining, otherwise finish my lecture here itself. So I hope this is a fact based class. So I hope it is really interesting as well. So you will enjoying all these lectures. So I am finishing this lecture here itself, and tomorrow this topic, that is Indian Union and its territory, it will be finished. Tomorrow lecture will be also be really interesting. How Gujarat formed, Maharashtra formed, Jharkhand formed, Telangana formed, and how Himachal Pradesh become a state from Union territory. All these things you will get in tomorrow's classes. So thank you so much. We will meet tomorrow again. Thank you.